candidates with black kids, and all right, you'll all make mistakes, you know, but that's going a little bit too far, you know, grandchildren and all the rest of it, you know. These people, I think they had a queer stand for them, you know. They just put the block on that one, but that's the next thing going to come up, you know. And I think, you know, I'm pragmatic, and I want to win, right? I want to win. I'm not interested in knocking around with a bunch of lunatics and losers, right? You know? I want to win, and I think we can win in the national front if you keep your principles, you know. And by keeping your principles doesn't mean like watering everything down, you know. Your core values. You've got to have some core values, because if you end up like in Italy, where Fini, who descended from Mussolini's mob, now he shoots off to Israel with his skull cap on, obviously bought by the Jews, you know, and kissing their backside, and he's now like the Christian Democratic Party. So I'm afraid, you know, what the hell's the point of that, you know? We might as well all sit at home, you know, let them, you know. So, anyway, I wouldn't be negative about that. I'm not having a go at the BNP or anything, but, you know, certain things are doing are a bit naughty, so if anybody knows a few of them, just go at these, you know, because they're going to upset quite a few of our people, you know. We don't want any aggravation. Right, anyway, that's a negative thing, but positive thing is Bernard Franklin, Deputy Chairman of the party, Editor of the Flame. Now, if you read the Flame the last few issues, you can see it's going to it's much better quality, you know, and that's to Bernard, his squad, with chap from the North East, which I've got his name now. Ken, you know, and he's got a very good team, and obviously Bernard's going to expand because the papers are selling more and more papers, and we want to do a lot better. But anyway, I'll introduce you to Bernard, Deputy Chairman of the party, and Editor of the Flame.
Well, while we're on the Flame, I'll start with the issue of the Flame. There's an awful lot of information that's been concealed from the British public for the last 50 years that they need to know if we're going to win. They don't know what the history was and what's happening. I'm 60 now, and I've learned a lot from the older generation who fought through the war, knew what went on. And I try in the newspaper to get a balance between issues of today, common market, immigration, loss of industry, crime and everything else, but I also include articles of political interest, of knowledge that everybody ought to have, because you'll need an argument. So I hope everybody keeps one issue of the flag, each one, for reference. We have, since I took it over 2 years ago, we've managed to increase the circulation regularly. It's now almost paying for itself. With a few socials, I don't know if anyone's been on the Flame socials, but we do have socials every now and again to raise funds, plus give us a good day out, and to bring extra people into the party. I was sent through the P.O. Box, an American magazine, which had a very good article talking about our loss of community being our biggest problem, that we are no longer a community, that we accept people who are not of our race or nation as equals, and we take them in. We have a so-called international community, artificially created by our enemy, the Wild Welders, the internationalists, which, as far as I'm concerned, is a non-existent body. And we have an Asian community, a Muslim community, a Jewish community, but no English community anymore. There is in Hemel Hempstead, I find, set up on their own initiative, groups of families who make sure that they only associate with families of English and non-drug taking and moral. And we ought to really be doing the same. We could do that with the social activities. There's an awful lot of women that apart from running my own business, I've now started doing debt collecting. It's very interesting, you learn quite a lot. Awful lot of our women doing the best they can, trying to bring up children under difficult circumstances. The boys that are being brought up by women tend to have very strange ways when they reach teenage years and become very strange adults. It'd be a good idea if we could get these together socially, to use them, to bring them in, to enlarge our support. I remember many years ago, Derek Guy did a similar project. He used the local phone in radio programs, and advertised that if anybody wanted anything doing, if there's a pensioner wanted their shopping done, if anybody had a broken window they couldn't fix, just phone Derek Day and get it done. And for 6 months he made a name for himself as the saviour of his local community. After he'd been going for 6 months, he then announced he was organiser of the National Front in the area. And it was a bit late then, he'd already made a name for himself and made inroads in the politics, and around the East End there where he was, a good support. So I think we do have to engage socially, and I find personally, as a TV engineer, I'm in and out a dozen houses every day, and most of the support I get comes from my direct contact with people. You'd be surprised how many are our way of thinking, and if you put it across in a sensible kind of way and approach it gradually, you'll find that most people agree with us. Most of my customers take the flame every month. In fact, to a degree now that I go around the area and I get people saying, oh, I must have some more papers because I've got a dozen people on. Through that, I'm building up quite a large outlet in Burnt Oak, Mill Hill, which is my constituency. I stood in Burnt Oak 1977 when the council war got sick of the borough. I stood for the general election twice. Haven't done anything since because the party sort of fragmented, but I came back into the party 12 or so years ago and have done a lot since, and intend to contest that general election next year when it comes up. So obviously we have so much to do, so I'm urging everyone to really put their utmost effort in this year and to persuade those around them who are supporters to come and help us. Foreigners have been brought into this country at a rate deliberately to swamp us and to keep our enemies in power. There's no doubt about that. The ultimate aim of the exercise is the genocide of the white British nation. And it's not only the genocide of our white nation, it's the genocide of every white nation. We saw the way South Africa Rhodesia went, and the Labour, Liberal, Conservative and Communist parties idolised Nelson Mandela, think he's God, and that what happened to the whites in South Africa and Rhodesia is wonderful. And they obviously would like to see the same happen here. Peter Hain, leader of the House of Commons, was one of the most active members of the anti-apartheid movement in South Africa, and he is doing exactly the same here that he was doing in South Africa, and getting away with it, sitting in the House of Commons where he shouldn't be. As far as I'm concerned, he should have been put on the first plane back to South Africa when he turned up in this country. He is not wanted here. But unfortunately he got elected,